What's up, everybody? Let me know if the wind is a problem. It is extremely windy here. See, I can see Chad, NJ, Wannabe, Curtis, 351. Yeah, I've got the little foam curler thing on the phone, but it is extremely windy. It's blowing straight into this bank right here, right in my face. All the rods are out. What's up, Nina? There should be a link pinned at the top. If anybody'd like to come up, chit chat, help with chat, things like that, it would be greatly appreciated. Chad Thomason, hey mom, how are you? Art, crap fishing. That's right. I need bait for tonight. I like to have a carp. We're in the Midnight Madness challenge tonight on Brian B's channel. I'd like to have a cart to go out there. What's up, Skeeter Reynolds? Skeeter knows where I'm at. Never fished on this end of the lake before. Tony and I came down here 3, 4, 5 days ago. We noticed this spot. Thought, man, that'd be a good place to set up, do some carp fishing. Yeah, get up here, Curtis. What's up, Brandon? But all 3 rods are out. We're only allowed 3 rods here in Indiana, and I'm by myself. Telly's went to buy some groceries, so I'm here all alone. Got 12 people in here already. That's awesome. Bugman, nope, we've been live for 1 minute and 50 seconds. So I just got the rods casted out. We do catch carp here, but normally we're all the way over there. Didn't seem to be very deep at all out there where I cast it out, which doesn't really matter. Oh, I just saw a carp roll out there. Did you guys see that? I don't know if you guys could see that or not, but that was a carp. I am not casted out that far, but I do have this rod. That rod is over there. Second rod is straight out. The third rod is over in there. That was a good sign, seeing the carp roll like that. Wasn't too far off our baits. Can you guys hear me okay? The screen looked good, stuff like that. And again, the wind. The wind is horrible here. So let me know if there's wind noise or not. The bait is right down there in that bag. That's my patented, world famous hooks and hammocks carp pack bait. I did bring an extra can of corn with me because I made that pack bait the last time Telly and I went out, so it's almost a week old. Only wearing from your face mouth. It's good. But that carp bait's, it's almost a week old, and the corn's starting to shrivel up in it. I didn't figure corn or carp would want to eat shriveled up corn, so I got a fresh can of corn to bait the hook with. We'll let them sit out there for a good 30 minutes. Give that pack bait time to break down. 30 minutes or so, we haven't had any bites or nothing. We'll bait them all back up, throw them right back out again. The more we cast out, the more chumming we're doing. So 18 people. I can't believe how bad this wind is blowing. I hope it stops before midnight, because on the Ohio River, the way this wind's blowing, it won't be any fun. Come on, Curtis, come up here and talk to me and help with chat. You know you want to. Don't be afraid. You can even say bad stuff about your brother if you want. I don't care. Bugman says he's kept it for about a month. It's most. Yeah, I mean, once that corn, I had some in the refrigerator for a little over a month and started to get a little mold in it. But that corn, after about 3 or 4 days, that corn that's in there starts shriveling up. Eddie Gross. Curtis wanted to join the Midnight Madness tonight. Well, if Brian's got a spot, get on in there. Don't be scared. You feel froggy, jump. I know that the wind blowing into this bank is great for bass fishing, cat fishing, things like that, but I don't know how well it'll work for carp. I mean, I've caught carp using the Berkeley Gulp minnows, so I know they will eat minnows. So hopefully the wind will play to our advantage, blowing everything up into this bank. Maybe the carp will be in here too. I just don't want it to blow the turtles up here. Turtles are the devil. I'd like to have at least one 5 or 6 pound carp to take out with us tonight. I'm going to give this 2 hours, maybe 3. We'll see how it goes. And then I'm going back home, get everything ready for tonight, and take a nap. Telly and I have to be somewhere at like 5 o'clock, 5:30, and we're going to be there till about 9, and then we're going to leave there and go straight to the river. What's up, Kelly Bullock? NJ. Let me close that bait bag back up so it doesn't dry out. I know I saw that. NJ was on them yesterday. There's some out there. If you watch out there, they're out there rolling on top of the water. At least there's one out there rolling around on top of the water. But like I said, if I try to cast that hack bait too hard, it'll just come off. So I just kind of gently cast it. Where it is where it is. Good morning, everyone. May I say a bad word? You absolutely can say a bad word. A dang day. What a dang day already. Well, that's not a bad word. Dang's not a bad word. I thought you're going to say shit, damn, hell. Prefer you not to use the F word in here, but anything else I think is okay. Uncle G. It's been a day. get those myself, Mike. I think we all have those days, probably more than we'd like. Yeah, NJ, that's how I normally, or well, not normally, but the way I used to carp fish was I never brought anything but I'd bring 2 cans of corn, and I would take just handfuls of corn and throw almost an entire can out, or about a half a can. I'd throw it out, and then I'd just put corn on my hook and toss it out where I threw it, and we always caught, one or two, three. But then I decided I wanted to start casting farther than I could hand throw corn, so I started making the pack bait, and I can get my bait out a little farther with the pack bait. That's the only reason I make pack bait, is just so I can cast it out there. But like I said, you still got my pack bait. I just pack around my sinker. What's up, Honolulu? Papaw Chris. Now wait a minute, Uncle, or maybe even great uncle, or second cousin, third cousin, but Papaw? Or does that mean Pappy? I don't know what she means. It looks like Papaw, and I don't like it. Small water charters. I mean, I'm old, but I ain't that old. But anyway, I was saying, I just pack my pack bait around the sinker. And I use like a 1 ounce, 2 ounce sinker at the most. And there's just nothing there to really hold on to the pack bait. Now, I think what I might end up doing is, I really do like using carp for catfish bait. So I might buy some of those cheap Amazon spring looking pack bait holders, just so you can pack it in there and then you can cast it as far as you want. You don't have to worry about it. Oh, Papa. I can handle that. Sorry, Honolulu. I apologize. I thought you were saying Papaw. That's right, NJ. Carp for bait. I really like using carp for bait. The only guy who lived on this lake I was fishing told me that they want the carp gone from the lake and that I should have killed them. Huh. Well, unless he owns the lake, I probably wouldn't listen to him. I think if they really wanted them gone that bad, they would have it posted to please not return carp caught or something like that. I know if you heard, but Kentucky is actually getting rid of the invasive species in our Kentucky River. Well, good luck with that. NJ, we do very well using carp for channel cat bait. You should try it. What's up, Walter? Not we've been fishing for 14 minutes. I just got all the baits out. We haven't even had a bite yet. I had $17 in my wallet and gave. Oh, I missed something. Flat tire jack broke, stuck on expressway. Got a jack from a guy walking by. Dropped truck off, jack. Finally got. Oh my Lord, Greenwell, you are having a day. Mr. Tully. This lake that I'm at right now, it's about and we'll call it 30 minutes from the house. And I have Atterbury Fish and Wildlife 10 minutes from the house. But there's only one lake there that doesn't get moss covered, and I've never seen a carp in it. So I don't even know if they're in there. And all the other lakes are so full of moss, you can't fish them this time of year. I mean, it looks like land. There's so much moss on top of the water in those other lakes. I wish there was a place a little closer to home where I knew there was a good number of carp. I mean, I probably got some of the creeks and rivers close to me if I could get access to them. Walter, I am in Seymour, Indiana right now. R.R. Vogues. Okeechobee all over the news again over the blue-green algae. They need to just let it flow. Are you guys hearing me okay with all this wind? I mean, I've got, like I said, I've got the foam curler on there. Lots of park ponds. Yeah, I know, but I live out in the middle of nowhere, Bugman. There are no parks. And one park that's closest to me doesn't have a pond. I need to look around in Shelbyville. I'm sure there's some of those down there in Shelbyville I could probably fish, and I'm sure they got carp in them. One year in Oklahoma, the state put cattle tanks in all, chat moved, in all the fishing spots and signs telling people to put carp in the tanks. You can imagine the smell. My goodness. I can't even hear the wind. You're crystal clear. Well, good. The foam hair curler is working fantastic because there's pretty constant 10-mile-an-hour wind here with gusts 15 to 20. I heard the big snakes are there now. Sometimes when we get here, 15 minutes we'll have the first carp on. Sometimes it's 2 hours, but once we get one, we usually get multiples. I had to tie a bait rag around my mic yesterday. Tripod went over one. Oh, what's up, Richard? Fishing in freedom. We knew what you meant, NJ, around the mic. I'm telling you, these little, here, I'm just going to show you guys real quick. All this is a foam hair curler, and I poked a hole in, cut a slit in it so it'll open. I put my charger through there. I plug my charger in, and I slide this up over the phone and covers the mic. And it works pretty well, obviously, because you guys said you didn't hear any wind. Honolulu with 1999. Thank you very much. Let's get some carp, Papa Chris. I think I like Papa Chris. I think I do like that. It's better than Uncle. Yeah, that's real simple. And I think you can get a whole pack of those at the Dollar Tree or something like that for a little bit of nothing. I bought mine at Walmart. I think we ended up paying like $12 for the whole pack, and there's only about 12 in the pack that are this size. Everything else is smaller. So go to the Dollar Tree or Dollar General or something and see if they've got them. Buy them there. Just take the plastic parts out of them, cut a slit in it, put a hole in it for your charger. Bingo, bango, bongo. There you go. And it seems to work pretty well. Thank you again, Halana, for that super chat. I appreciate it. Now we just need a cop to put in the cooler. Anything possible. What's up? Dollar Tree, they have two sizes. $1.25. There you go. Yeah, go there. Don't go to Walmart. Unless, I mean, my Walmart didn't have just one size. They had a variety pack, and that's why it probably cost extra. But that was all they had, so we bought them. There's more than enough in there. I mean, unless I lose them all. I keep 2 or 3 in the boat. I keep 1 in my electronics bag. Actually, I think I might have 2 in my electronics bag. Weird if I call you Papa Chris. Hey, only Honolulu gets to call me that. I'm missing chat somehow. I only get to see 3 chat at a time for some reason. Uncle Lou. Uncle Lou's in here. We'll catch something now. I don't need one in my pocket. I've got him in my electronics bag. I got him in the boat. Big Mike. 217. About 5 or 10 more minutes. Probably going to rebait everything just to get a little bit more out there. Yeah, I think Chad started the Honolulu thing. It just kind of stuck. I've been here and you ain't got it. Well, it's because you weren't chatting. We didn't know you were here. "29 people. That's awesome. Who would have ever thought you could start a YouTube channel and 29 people plus would come and watch you fish? Just like using chicken liver, you go through a whole container before you actually start catching. Well, I mean, they got to find it. You know, the carp come around, and you know, when you first throw that pack bait out there, a lot of times it'll stay packed up. It takes a little bit for it to really kind of dissolve. If you can get fish in the area, you know, pecking at it and eating at it, it'll help break it up quicker. But then you've only got, you know, maybe a tennis ball size pack bait out there, and the only thing, once it starts dissolving, the only thing left is the corn. So there's just, you know, 10 or 20 pieces of corn maybe in a hand and one bait. So you got to give it time. You got to let them find it. But the more you put out there, the bigger chum you're making, because that the breadcrumbs and the jello just basically dissolve and create that chum area, and that's where the scent is. To be fair, watching someone carp fish is pretty much the same as actual carp fish. Well, yeah, I mean, there's a whole lot of waiting, not a lot going on, unless you just happen to throw it right into or around a school of them and they find it right away. Now, I never put my hook in my pack bait, and if I do, I barely hook it on the outside of it, so that corn on that hook is always accessible, and they don't have to go through the pack bait to find it. It's always going to be on the outside of the pack bait. What's up, Robin? Make a thing to throw balls. Man, that chat just keeps moving so fast. They make a thing to throw balls of chum. Yeah, they've got a slingshot, actually. You could just put corn in a slingshot. I'm not going to invest a bunch of money in carp fishing. A lot less casting. And we doing, yeah, you know that. There's a lot less casting. I pack my bait around the hook. And that's fine if you do that. I mean, my theory behind not packing it around the hook is they come out and they're eating all the pack bait, or that, you know, they're not getting to your hook yet. I want them to hopefully pick up the corn on my hook straight away. But if your hook's in the center of your ball of pack bait, then they've got to dig through that pack bait potentially to find your hook. Good Lord, Uncle Lou. He wants Freddie to get epoxy in his beard. Bugman, if you look at those method leads and stuff like that for carp, you know, your pack bait's never around your hook. Your hook just has corn or boilies or whatever it is you're using, and the pack bait is actually up and away from your hook. My leaders are only about 4 inches long, so they're not, that corn on my hook is right there with the pack bait. I try not to get too technical with carp fishing. Like I said, I used to just come out here with 2 cans of corn and nothing else. Freddie, be a leader, not a follower. Papa Chris, I think it's time for some reading glasses with all of these comments you're missing. Well, it's because I'm only seeing, like right now, I can only see your comment, none of the other ones. And now half of yours is gone and I can only see Uncle Lou's. So if I get like that, it jumped, I might have missed 3. I use the method leads and a hair rig. Think I'll probably just start packing around the sinker for casting's sake. Well, if I had a chat reader up here, we wouldn't be missing them. Hint, hint, 31 people. That's amazing. Link is at the top. What's up, Steve Ransom? And the other thing about this pack bait, I can't guarantee you're always going to, or you're not going to throw it off. Sometimes you pack it up and as soon as you cast it, it's gone. It comes off. That's why I'm thinking about buying those really cheap, they look like springs that you put your pack bait in. Whatever, Freddie. Let me act like J-Dog. Freddie don't love me. He won't come up here and read chat. He does it for everybody else. Yeah, here, let me take let's see if you guys can hear it now. I took the foam off the phone. Tell me if you hear the wind. I mean, you can see the water, how hard the wind's blowing. You can see the little bush off to the side blowing too. We've got a lot of wind down here for some reason. We put the foam curler back on. Yeah, if you try to put any power behind it when you're just packing around a sinker, you're going to throw it all. Uncle Lou would love to come up, but he's relaxing before those planer board orders come in. Get you 2 sets of planer boards. Uncle Lou's Tackle on Facebook. Give him something to do. Idle hands are the devil's playground. We don't want Uncle Lou to fall victim, so make sure you put those orders in. Art, I believe he's going to the James River to fish tonight. The wind's actually getting worse. Well, get out there, Art. Don't be afraid of it. All right. Well, it's been 30 minutes. I think I'm going to start rebaiting them. It's going to take me a little bit. Don't make fun of me when I throw this pack bait off. I'll come back when I'm done. Oh. The other good thing about that pack bait only cost about $2 or $3 to make that whole bag. He swears by it, but may not have a problem feeding it to carp instead of putting it on hot biscuits. Well, I missed something, but bling! Flaxseed is a good binder and good. You guys can probably pack bait. There's all kinds of recipes on the internet for carp bait. All right, we'll give it another 30. We'll freshen them up again. They're starting to get a few piles out there now. I've casted all those right back out in just about the same spot, so they all should be pretty close to where the first ones were. Molasses stir-off. Never use bait tastier than the prey you're after. And the hooks I'm using are actual carp hooks. They're tiny little hooks. I don't set the hook on them unless I just like maybe see a bunch of slack in my line and I reel it up and I can feel them. Then I'll set the hook. Generally, they'll pick that corn up and swim away, and they hook themselves, even though they're still a J-style hook. But they're Gamakatsu carp hooks. I think they're G carp, or I think that's what they're branded as. When bait dissolves off the sinker, won't the scent just blow into the shore with that wind? I don't know. I guess it's possible. I don't know how much the wind moves. I mean, I know it moves the water on top, but does it really move the water down underneath? I don't know. I guess it would because it pushes bait fish and stuff, but I don't know. Most of the carp we catch, we don't catch very far off the bank anyway. Like I said, I used to just throw handfuls of corn out, and I could only throw corn about 10 or 15 yards out. Any fin, I had bird seed in my bag. I've seen people use bird feed. Size matters. What's up? Yeah, I want a carp. I want to take a carp out with us tonight during the Midnight Madness, if I can get one. I'm not going to spend more than a couple hours, maybe 3, trying to do it. pack bait is, it's one of those things that's pretty unlimited what you can use for pack bait. Those guys that get serious about carp fishing, you know, they have their rods laying down and the tips almost in the water. Then they use those bite alarms and everything. That stuff is expensive, and I ain't doing it. Not for carp. Oh, this number 3 rod just had a hit. Hopefully it's not a damn turtle. Takedowns, yeah. If it's a carp, once it hooks up, the takedown's awesome. These 2 rods, number 1 and number 2, are the Whisker Seeker Catfish and Carp Edition. That was the whole reason I bought those rods, was for doing what we're doing right now. And then over here is just a ugly stick. It's actually a striper version, but I don't think there's a difference between the striper and the catfish ugly sticks. Not that I've noticed anyway. "36 people. What's up, Michael Peterson? It's been a while since I've been able to watch. Let's hurry up and catch something so I can do some yard work." Well, I don't know about the hurry up part, and I don't know about the catch part. So I don't know if I can help you. It's been 43 minutes on the live stream, and we've had one little bite. That just happened a few minutes ago. Got to wait till the carp find the bait. If anybody is up late tonight, go to Brian B. Catfishing YouTube channel. He's doing a Midnight Madness boat and kayak edition tournament from midnight to 5 a.m. Telly and I will be in that tournament. And we'll need a lot of loud noises to keep us awake. It's gonna be our first out all night on the boat. Still something messing with that ugly stick over there, number 3. Just barely pulls the rod down. It's probably a damn turtle. Some flathead fishing sounds like a good time tonight. That's right. Are you in that tournament, Chad? Get in it if you're not. We can make fun of each other all night, keep each other awake. Catfish and Crappie, new member. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate that, buddy. Thank you, Eric, for putting that link in there. Even if you're not up late, set your alarm and wake up and watch that tournament. I have a feeling it's going to be a really good tournament. What's up, Yak Shore? None so far. 45 minutes that we've been out here. We've had, well, we'll call it 2 bites now because I saw the rod move again. But they might be turtles. What's Telly telling Chad to stop for? Darn, I thought I was a member. No clue what happened. That's all right, Mark. I'm not good enough to be on screen with the likes of whatever, Chad. Jerk. Tell he's driving and listening. Hi, beautiful wife. That's right, Uncle Lou. You tell her to tell him. Chad is my hero. Wow. Freddie didn't give me any hearts. Mark says, good morning, everyone. Man, that wind. I can't believe you guys can't hear that wind. Eddie Gross. There's definitely something messing with that ugly stick. I have a bad feeling it's a turtle. The link is pinned at the top. If anybody'd like to come up and chat, tell us a story, help me read chat, make fun of Chad, whatever you'd like to do. I think I can hear you through all this wind. I don't know. No, no turtle soup videos. I don't, turtles are the devil. I don't mess with them. Matter of fact, I just thought of something. I did not bring a pair of pliers. That's going to be interesting. I'm busy at work. Got nothing done yesterday thanks to NJ. NJ was on him yesterday. Nope. I'm contemplating going fishing this weekend. Need to catch bait. Wifey might have plans though. Well, I know Telly and I are fishing tonight in the Midnight Madness. And then Sunday on the Bullock Experience channel will be the Chicken Challenge. Telly and I will also be in that. It's actually kind of cool out here. I'm starting to get a little chilly. What's up, Aaron? I'm an avid in Robin's tournament Saturday evening, so I will get some fishing in at least. I'm sure you already said, but where are you fishing today? Weather looks pretty good. Actually, it's the temperature wise, the weather's fine. It is extremely windy. And I'm in Seymour, Indiana. Just right off of 65 is straight on the other side of the lake is Interstate 65. Oh, let me take this off again. Let's do an experiment. See if you guys hear that wind now. Let me know if you hear that wind. I took the foam roller off. Wind will be all day and die down after 8. Well, that's what we need for tonight. Bugman said well, he wouldn't have no wind at all up here at North Indy. You guys hear that wind? Are you sure there's carp here? Yeah, Uncle Lou, there's carp here. You put that roller back on. Noticeable difference in the wind noise. All right, the foam roller is back on now. So it must do a halfway decent job of blocking the wind. Yeah, it's well, of course I was going to show you the bushes moving, but they don't look like much there, but I mean trust me, it's windy. Very windy. I will say cell phone mics can be pretty good with their built-in noise cancellation. Well, I'll show it again because we've got some new people in here. You can tell by the way the water is moving. Yep. So let me take this off again, unplug it. This is just a foam hair curler that we cut a slit in so you can open it. Poke the hole in that side. Put your charger through the hole. Plug your charger in the phone and slide that up over your phone. That's all it is. Easy peasy. I think you're right, Uncle Lou. I think he needs some carp planer boards. Hey, Uncle Lou, now you got some planer boards for catfishing, crappie planer boards, carp planer boards. Then we can make some bluegill planer boards, some bass planer boards, shad planer boards, skipjack planer boards. We keep Uncle Lou busy. Everybody go over to Facebook, Uncle Lou's Tackle, and order 2 sets of planer boards. Even if you don't fish, go order 2 sets of planer boards. You'll love them. I don't know if the carp have spawned here yet or not either. All right, I got to catch some shut-eye. Hope you catch a ton. Well, I appreciate that. I really only need one. If I can get one 5 or 6 pounder, that's all I'll need for tonight. A lot of bait in a 5-pound carp. Uh-oh. Uncle Lou, add a set of planer board of crappie boards to my order. That's awesome. What's up, Lisa? If I could get this wind to stop blowing, it would be an amazing day. But I don't think that's going to happen. Danny Stone, get some strawberry jello. Asian carp marinating right now. If you were closer, I'd hook you up. I would take it. I've never used a jello on carp before. We just catch common carp here, and I basically just fillet them. There's so many bones in them. I just fillet them, get as much meat as I can off of them. And we've always done well with carp when we have it. But Danny, if you start driving now, you can be here before lunch. Just saying. Definitely hope the catfish bite is better than the carp bite is when we get out there tonight. Yeah, I was just telling MJ about that, Danny, that, because that's about all MJ's got up there. That middle rod just got a bump. But we do really well, like in these little lakes here around the house and stuff, using carp for channel cats. It works really well. But we've got a lot of blues on it too. Yeah, jello and shrimp for channel cats. Just shrimp. I mean, got a lot of channel cats just on plain shrimp. Buy those raw jumbo shrimp, come out like a blue bag at Walmart. Would someone please publish a schedule for shut-ins like me to follow? I think Palmetto tried that. I mean, you're always going to get, somebody like me that just decides to go live. But it would be nice if there was a way that we could have one place you go and it lists all the tournaments, but then, the people putting the tournaments on have to remember to go and put that info in too. We need instead of the TV guide, we need the YouTube fishing guide. Oh, Steve was behind in chat. That happens. There's been times I've went into a live stream and it started me at the beginning. I'd be over an hour behind and not even realize it for a while. I don't know why it does that. Sometimes it'll start you at the beginning of a live stream that's still in progress. But it's happened to me numerous times. They sell one at our grocery store called TV brand bait shrimp. Interesting. All right, so now we've had a bump on the ugly stick and this middle one. And both of them weren't very impressive bumps. Oh, I took a phone call, forgot to catch up. The kids used Jello chicken last week, caught all bullheads, switched to Jello carp, and caught channels. The TV bait shrimp. I've never heard of that TV bait shrimp. I'm gonna have to look that up just so I'm familiar with it. I would throw some handfuls of corn out there, but I'd be throwing straight into the wind. I could never get them out there where my actual hooks are. Normally, like I said at the beginning of the stream, normally Telly and I are right over there where that little opening is. And we've always done well there. But I wanted to come down on this end of the lake today and give it a try. Family-friendly spots you get picked to nice and level, grass covered, and easy water access. Yeah, that spot over there across the lake that I just pointed out, it's actually a better spot. This spot here, that's all it is. There's this little dead end lane that you can back into, and this little trail comes down right to the lake. Casey's carries it. We've got some Casey's around here, but I guess I've never really looked for it either. I don't use shrimp very often at all. TV bait shrimp is a brand name, Chris. Comes in a small white box at the grocery store. Yeah, I usually just go to Walmart and buy the bag of raw jumbo shrimp when I'm going to use it. Which is not very often. We don't use shrimp very often at all. Hang on just a second, guest.
What's
What's up,
going on,
Mark?
Chris? I figure I'd come up and help you read some chat for a little bit, but you're
I
doing a
appreciate that.
you're doing a fantastic job though, bud.
I know I'm missing a lot. For some reason, StreamYard right now, I can only see a chat and a half. Apparently,
Yeah,
J Dog came in because somebody said hi to J Dog.
I see J Dog's chat, but mine's kind of frozen too. J Dog says, I love watching carp fishing. What's going on, NJ and hammocks? I mean, hooks, maniac, carp. What the hell am I watching again?
Well, I can actually sit down now.
I got Uncle Lou. He came in here. He's a member. He says the unveiled and unpeeled green shrimp works a lot better than those little shrimp from the green and white box around here.
Yep, that's what I was. Those ones I buy at Walmart, they're unpeeled and raw. They just come in. I think they're in like a blue bag. They're frozen. But when I use shrimp, I usually go to Walmart and buy those. And we've done all right with them.
I buy when I use shrimp when we go perch fishing downtown, and I buy the cooked ones, and then I buy a jar of cocktail sauce. So we got fish, we got shrimp to eat and shrimp to fish with. So that's a good.
There you go.
Catfish Regulator says, "Hey, old man," or he says, "Old man Mark." What's up, Gimpy Aaron?
Old man Mark.
Yeah, I know. That's just Aaron. He's causing trouble. Aaron, you got a package coming today. Make sure you read the message. Aaron says, Chris, Lake Gaston is missing you.
Well, we're missing Lake Gaston and Kerr.
And
I don't know if we're going to make it this year.
Yeah, Tully says, I'm missing it too, Aaron.
We always have a good time there.
One of these days, I'll make this 16-hour trip out there.
It would be about 16 hours for you because it's 11 for us.
Yeah, it's a long ways. We'll see. With the price of fuel getting even higher and higher, that makes for a tough trip.
Yep. You'd love it out there, though.
I'm sure I would. Fishing with Tom and Aaron sounds like a good time. 1-tonners, that'd be a good time.
Don't even pack any food because you won't be able to eat it.
That I like even more. Danny Stone is saying hello to NJ. He's also a member.
Yeah, it's about time for us to do another member-only giveaway.
You got a lot of never mind. We're not going to go there. Nina's kayak crew. What's up, Nina? How you doing? She says she misses it too. J-Dog says, Tom, maybe. Aaron, I don't know about.
No, Aaron brings the donuts and the tomahawk steaks.
Yeah, he sent me pictures a long time ago of those apple. Was it him with the apple fritter sending pictures? Somebody sent me apple fritter.
It might have been. Those donuts he brings are amazing. And then the very first time we went, he made Telly a T-bone steak and made me a tomahawk steak. I carried that thing around like a caveman eating on it.
That thing had to be the size of you, Chris.
It was about the size of my head.
Dawson over at Fishing with Squirrel says, tell Chris he is handsome too. Hello.
Oh, I didn't know he was that good looking.
Mm-hmm.
There's a story behind that.
I understand. Hello, Nina. She's saying hello to me. J-Dog saying hello to Nina. Danny Stone says good morning.
We were down there at the Tennessee meet and greet, and somebody that everybody in chat knows came up. I think it was me and Freddie, and there's a group of us standing around talking to Dawson. And this very famous female YouTuber, which I won't mention her name, but she was like, "Who are you?" And we were like, "Well, that's Squirrel, Fishing with the Squirrel." She's like, well, I didn't know you were that good looking. So now every time I see Squirrel, I say, I didn't know you were that good looking.
What famous YouTuber? You can tell us.
I don't know. I mean, her initials might be PJ.
Yeah, no clue. I'm lost. Greenwell Fishing. Mike asks, any bait caught yet, Chris?
No, I ain't caught anything yet. This wind's getting worse.
Aaron says, J Dog, never heard of her. CFM's Queen says, hey, everyone. What's up, Judy?
What's up, CFM's Queen?
J Dog's asking me to tell Chris to call me and Greenwell when he is done. We have an awesome idea, please.
Okay. I planned on calling him today anyway.
J Dog never calls me.
He was sending me a bunch of texts yesterday, and I never got back around to him. So
he just messages me insults every now and then.
Yeah, I get those too.
Mm-hmm. But that's okay. I forgive J Dog. He's all right with me. I got some good news this morning. My Santana tickets are on their way.
Santana tickets? Wow.
Yeah, we're seeing them at a place called Ravinia here, which is an outdoor place. It's a huge park, and they got a little theater, well, not little. It's an outdoor theater, but we got some seats out in the park. You get to bring your own food and beer in there. So whenever we go, we try to go once a year. We'll bring a bucket of KFC and a 12-pack of Heineken. It's a good time.
There's a park in Columbus, Indiana, Mill Race Park, and I don't think they're doing it. They stopped doing it because of COVID, I believe, and I don't think they've started it up. But every year they would have a real popular band from like the 70s.
Uh-huh.
And it would be free. You just bring lawn chairs and set up.
Yep.
And
we
went there a few times.
We got Sunset Park right down the block from my house, and in the summer they have a Summerfest, so they got a whole week of shows like that, and I can hear it from my backyard. I just sit in the backyard and get me a good cigar and a nice drink, and I'll just sit back there with the wife and the dogs, and we listen. We got look at a super chat from Eric over at Super Smurf Eric Fishing, $3, a super sticker, actually. Thanks, Eric.
Well, thank you, Aaron.
CFM Queen wants to know if you got one yet.
No fish yet. Like I said, at this spot here, you're either catch them right away or you have to set for a couple hours before you get the first one. And then once you get one, you'll usually catch 2, 3, or 4.
How far are you from your house, Chris?
About 30 minutes or so.
That's a little ride. I was going to say,
that's not bad.
The one spot I carp fish at, I'll go out there the night before with like 2-3 cans of corn. I'll just launch them out there, open, of course, throw the corn out there and get it all chummed up. And then the next morning we're good to go. J-Dog claims he calls me sometimes. Liar. He calls me names in chat. Let's see.
It amazes me how the turtles can find your bait faster than the fish do.
Yeah, they'll chew it up. One time I saw a video from Luke over at Catfish and Carp, and he chummed a spot for 5 days, right, with corn. So I'm like, I'm gonna try this. So I go over to the Farm and Fleet, get a big old bag of feed corn. I throw it in our old pressure cooker, get it all cooked up for like 2 hours, get it nice and soft. So I got a bucket of this corn in my garage cooked, fermenting, right, which is probably the best way to do it. So I go out to this spot right here by the house every day for 5 days. And on the 5th day, I go out there, I throw the last bit of corn out that I had, and out come a couple of muskrats. They were eating all my bait. I went fishing. I didn't catch a darn thing. All I did was feed them for 5 days. Buck is asking if Rob Thomas is with Santana. I don't believe so. This is just Carlos Santana that's doing this. You know, he does a stint in Vegas, Chris, because I know you like casinos and such. But I think he's like one of the longest running residencies right now. So
really,
he leaves once in a while. Yeah, I believe so.
Well, Telly's when we went and met Telly's newfound family a couple weeks ago, they were talking about a trip next year out to Vegas and invited us to go. If we do that, I may have to look that up.
Yeah, I imagine bells went off in your head when you heard the word Vegas.
Yeah. I was like, well, I twist my arm. I've always wanted a reason to go to Vegas.
Dawson's asking, Mark, are you going to be able to bring that new boat down to the gathering next year? Chris and Telly, are you all planning on coming? When is the gathering and where is it, Dawson? That might
the gathering is what they do in Tennessee every year.
Oh, Tennessee. Oh, that I might make.
And yes, we plan on being there.
Now that I did a little camping this year and figured it wasn't so, you know what sucks about camping? Getting ready and getting ready to go, and then when you get home, having to unpack.
Yep, that's the worst part about
it. But now that I know it's not so bad, and that cot I bought was pretty comfortable, so I can't complain.
Yeah, you would really enjoy it down there. It's a nice campground. It's clean. The campsites themselves are good, especially if you get one with power, which I definitely recommend. You got your boat, you're going to want some power.
Okay.
And the only bad thing is that place will book up very, very quickly. So now that they've announced the dates for the gathering, if you're planning on going, you need to go ahead and reserve a site. And the fishing's fantastic.
I want to get down there, man. So I got to figure out where to go now that I got the boat. One of the biggest reasons I didn't travel is because, it's something to go to like a gathering or something, and then have a boat where just you are in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you hear when I said in my live stream that when you called my boat, I remember when we were in Mendota, you're like, I didn't realize it was that small. And I had already put money down on that boat. And I'm like, I couldn't tell you. I kept that thing a secret. That was killing me.
Well, it all makes sense now. After you said that, I got to thinking, oh, well, wait a minute. He left that one day and went by the marina.
Oh, that's not where I bought it from. I actually went by there to look at, they had the other boat that was an option.
Oh, okay.
So I went and checked that out. So.
Yeah, I heard you say that, and I laughed. I was like,
J-Dog's Gone Fishing says, no. I said I call you something, Mark. Oh. Okay.
But isn't that weird, though? Because I remember the first year we went to Mendota, I thought your boat was huge. And then, after another year or two of fishing and having my own boat and stuff, and then I see yours again, I was like, oh, wow. It's a lot smaller than I remember it.
This new one, the motor doesn't fit through the door because of the angle of my driveway. I mean, I stand next to it, and it's a 1.5 feet taller. Well, wait a minute. It's a foot taller than me.
We got lucky when we bought our boat, and I brought it home, and I have maybe 2 inches on each side of the wheel well to get it through the garage door. And then the motor just barely goes under the garage, the metal clasp of the garage door.
Uh-huh.
So it just barely. And then once you back it all the way in, you've got maybe a foot to spare to be able to close the garage.
In the winter, I'll be able to get it in, but I got to air down the tires. I just don't feel I don't feel like doing that every day when I go fishing. So.
No, I wouldn't want to do that either.
NJ says, better than chumming for 3 days than going on the 4th day and someone beat you to the spot.
Oh, Lord.
Try and get caught up with Chad here. Everybody's still saying hello to each other. Danny Stone is reminding everybody, a word of warning, absolutely no alcohol at the gathering. I wonder why he felt the need to have to mention that to us, Chris.
I don't know. He probably thinks we're all a bunch of alcoholics. But he's right. There's no alcohol allowed at that park. I mean,
Eric says me and Curtis will be there Wednesday for that. I hope J-Dog makes it too. If J-Dog's going, I ain't going.
I'm telling you, we look forward. The first year was amazing. The second year was probably better. I think it's just going to get better and better. There's more than enough room there. I don't think you could ever have too many people. I mean, it's the Tennessee River, and you can fish right there around the campground. There's great fishing just around the campground. You can drive down to Raccoon Mountain, which I highly recommend. If you go down there, make sure you go to Raccoon Mountain and fish at least once. It's beautiful down there.
Is that a lake or is that part of the river?
No, it's the actual. So as soon as you get down to the Chickamauga Dam, it becomes Nickajack, but it doesn't look like a lake. It is actually the river, but it is still considered Nickajack. Raccoon Mountains Well, if you launch at the dam, it's 15 miles by a river to get down to the first 100-foot hole. And then there's like 700-foot holes down through there leading you into Raccoon Mountain. But it's just amazingly beautiful. The fishing's fantastic. And where else do you get to go and fish 100-foot holes and catch catfish?
Nice. I better re-spool my reels before I go down there because I've been slowly cutting line off it as I need to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and with my water being so shallow, I don't need full spools. Half spools more than enough.
There's not usually a whole lot of current down there. So, I mean, anchoring with a drip sock maybe depends on what the current is. But typically, when we go down there, we spin drift it, and we've done very, very well doing that.
I'd probably try to spot lock and in a drift sock. I've done pretty good that way too. As long as there's some current, we got no current here.
Well,
our current probably is as bad as the Ohio River.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, we got a fish on. I think that's an ugly stick. Oh, hey, Chris, I got a call. I'll be right back, all right? Hold on there.
It's almost exactly the size I wanted. A little bit on the small side. It'll work just fine. Ain't gonna be all perfect. There it is. Let me go throw this in the cooler. I'll be right back. All right, let me bait that back up. I'll be right back.
If you can hear me, Chris, sorry about that. I had a call inquiring about the boat. Dan's Animal says, gonna go fishing this evening, going live for the first time in a long time. Have fun, Dan. Be safe and get on some fish. Bugman says, J Dog, hey, my hero. Any fish is possible, says, I haven't fished since Sunday, Danimal, and I'm going through withdrawal. Imagine what it was like for me not fishing for 5 weeks. That was rough. Bugman says, I fished Friday night. I said fished, not I said fished, not catched. I'm planning on carp fishing maybe this weekend. Fishing with Squirrel says Raccoon Mountain is beautiful. We'll wait till Chris gets back. I missed the fish he caught.
Got a stick stuck in my neck.
Oh. So you can hear me. That's good.
Barely.
All right, Chris. Matt from Want to Be Outdoors, he says, is there fishing by the campground like Trail of Tears, Chris?
There's an area in the campground that's, I'll say it's okay for bank fishing. A lot of people fish there. I mean, they line that whole bank up. Daryl usually rents out. They're actually campsites. Daryl will rent all those campsites just so people have a place to bank fish.
Very cool.
But there are no shortage of boats out there. I'm sure that if somebody came and wanted to get out on a boat with somebody, you'd be able to do it.
So what'd you catch, Chris? I apologize for missing that.
It was just about a 4-pound carp.
Nice. Did you keep it?
Yeah, it's in the cooler.
Nice. Oh, your net is tipping into the water.
We got it balancing there. It's like it meant to do that.
Okay. Buck Williams says, Chris. Buck Williams says, Chris, I know eye safety is important, but does Telly really need her sunglasses while cooking?
She does that all the time. I make fun of her for it too. She usually comes in from doing something and she just starts making the video and her sunglasses are still on her head.
Telly's just cool like that. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. Her future's so bright. She needs to see.
Heck yeah. CFM's Queen says, eyeballs, splatter guard. I met Bug. My typing today. I think she's saying something to Bug, man.
I shouldn't say much because I put my sunglasses up on top of my hat and it'll be midnight and I still got my sunglasses on my hat. Or we'll be walking around inside somewhere and I've still got my sunglasses on my hat. You just forget they're there, you know. You used to get so used to putting them up there.
I need to wear reading glasses. I don't actually wear glasses. It's a long story, but I wear reading glasses, and so that prevents me from wearing sunglasses a lot of times. Or I do have a pair of Costas has readers built in with them, so they're pretty good.
I had the LASIK surgery. Good Lord, it's been 15 years or better now. And I was always a little bit light sensitive sun, you know, in the daytime. But after I had that LASIK surgery, it's really sometimes it's very difficult for me to be outside without my sunglasses on if it's not cloudy.
You know, medication will do that sometimes. Ask me how I know. It'll make you super sensitive to sunlight. That's a long story. NJ Fishing Maniac. I'm trying to get caught up on Chad here and do a good job, Chris. NJ Fishing Maniac says, nice takedown on the ugly stick.
Oh, yeah, it was a great takedown. I thought that carp was going to actually be a little bigger than it was, the way that takedown. And it was screaming drag, too.
That's always fun. Always gets the heart pumping. It was good to, you know, that 20-pound flathead that I caught the other day. That thing was stripping, dragging the multi-bar, and that got my blood out going. It felt good to get back on them.
If we get one more that size, that's a lot of bait.
It is. I haven't used carp in a while, But then again, I pretty much use either shad or live bait for the most part. So Fishing Freedom says he's also a channel member. He says when you switch from top chat to all chat, there is a new choice, fan funding. You can see all the super chat
Yep.
stickers and milestones. Pretty cool.
Hey, you noticed? I noticed today, and I don't think I clicked it, but when I set this live stream up, I went back into YouTube and turned on, like the subscriber only thing, and there was one at the very top that was already checked, and I think it has to do with that little heart thing that everybody keeps talking about. You can actually turn that off.
Oh, I wouldn't turn that off. I would encourage people to start smashing that little heart thing because I think
Exactly. That's what it's there for. It's engagement.
yep,
It's just like giving multiple thumbs up. That's exactly what it is.
it's a copy off of like TikTok because they do the same thing there. So Judith,
And if you're holding your phone and you got that little heart, if you turn your phone sideways, that heart goes away.
oh, good to know. Judith says, "Man, we need a new net for the salmon run. They broke right through ours, and it was guaranteed strong. Contact them, see if they'll replace it. I did that with a net that I bent the handle with on my PB flathead, and a Ranger net. Shout out the Ranger nets. They replaced that and sent me a crappie net as well.
Nice. I'm actually sitting here shivering. It's
I
cold.
know that happens to me. That happens to me quite a bit. Monday when I was live, I was freezing to death and wet, and it got kind of colder at the end of the night when I went out on Wednesday.
But
We
it
had
was
that.
it was 57 when I left the house. But we've got it's a good steady 15-mile-an-hour wind now, and it's just coming off this lake. It's a little cool.
Well, it is blowing the bait your way, including the plankton and stuff that the carp like to eat. It'll get blown around too. So, surprised you're not catching more fish. It should be on fire.
Well, it's kind of why I came down here specifically to set up in this spot because we haven't done it yet. But once I got here, I almost moved because of the wind, and I thought, no, it's blowing straight into me. I'm going to stay here. I just didn't know what it was going to do to the live stream. Thank goodness this foam curler seems to be doing the trick.
Uncle Jeep says, "Tell you gotta have sunglasses available to her at all times because when you're cool, the light shines on you 24 hours a day."
You tell him, Uncle Jeep.
J Dog says, "Mark is honestly one of the sweetest people I have ever met in my life. It is an honor to call him my friend." Oh no,
Oh,
he said Telly. I'm sorry, not me.
oh,
Yeah, man, I've been congested. My allergies are killing me, bud. He says, "Mark, you sound congested. You need a hot toddy." I need a decongestant's what I need. I'm trying not to take as many.
I've been pretty lucky. The only thing I'm allergic to is morphine.
My wife is too. Not a good thing when she got it the one time. It's kind of scary when 10 people come running into your room at the hospital after they give you a morphine injection because they're worried you're going to, never mind.
The first time they ever gave me morphine was my very first kidney stone.
Yikes.
And they started giving me morphine, and it did absolutely nothing for the pain. And they gave me so much morphine, they said, we can't give you any more. But it did absolutely nothing for pain.
Huh.
Well, then when I broke my leg in the motorcycle wreck, they gave me morphine at the hospital before I went into surgery. And all of a sudden, I remember laying there and looking up at the anesthesiologist, and I was like, why am I so itchy? My whole body was itching, and it was because of the morphine. So
Trying to get sorted through chat here. Buck Williams says, "Pro tip for you hair challenged folks. Don't put your sunglasses on your ears and on the back of your head." I saw a pic and it looks really funny. I get Amy Evans is in here. How you doing, Amy? She
what's
says
up, Amy?
it's a beautiful morning, J Dog. Skull Rush is in here. What's going on, Skull Rush? How you doing?
Skull Rush.
He says he doesn't want to hear it. He's down here sweating in Mississippi. J-Dog says, what a way to screw up my beautiful comment, Mark. Angry emoji, laugh emoji.
It was funny.
217 says, okay, I'm off to bed, Chris. Stay safe. I hope you catch some more fish. Catch you all later.
Thank you for hanging out. And to be completely honest, if I catch one more, that's going to be it, because I don't need any more than that.
NJ Fishy Maniac says, sometimes pain meds will make you itchy. Yes.
I know I learned my lesson after when I broke my leg. I spent a week in the hospital because I did basically 2 surgeries, and they kept me in for a week. And I had that button. Every time I was in pain, I could just push the button and it would give me meds. And I had to wait. I think it was every 15 minutes I could push the button. And I'm going to tell you from experience, if you got one of those little buttons that you can push and give yourself pain medicine, make sure you're taking plenty of stool softeners. Because
I was in the hospital I was really sick in the hospital.
Hang on, I got some slack line.
Okay.
If something hit that middle rod and the line went slack, I want to make sure he wasn't running back towards us.
Yeah. Matt says, lucky you didn't go to anaphylactic shock. I think he's talking to you, Chris.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was in a hospital. I had sepsis. I was in a hospital for like 2 weeks. I was really bad. But they gave me that one of those pain buttons, right? And I think it had Dilaudid in it, not morphine. Yeah. I turned that into a video game, trying to hit it after the timer went up every time, see how fast I could hit it.
Yeah, I remember laying there and watching the clock, because I'd hit the button and I would fall asleep for about 5 or 10 minutes. Then I'd wake up in pain and I'd be looking at the clock. And as soon as it would be 15 minutes, I'd hit the button.
Yep, exactly. Bugman22 says, I would like to see how you cut that carp for bait. I think he's talking to you, obviously, Chris.
Bugman, I basically just fillet it, just like I would a catfish. I start up by the head, cut all the way down the backbone, all the way, when I get past the guts, I go all the way through the tail and just fillet it all the way down through the tail. And then you got to peel, up on the backbone, you peel up the meat and just cut it all off the ribs. And that's how I do it.
Do you scale the carp, Chris?
No, I just put the hook through there, and whatever scales are on the tip of the hook, I pull them off.
Now everybody's talking, or Danny and NJ are talking pain medication. Or about his comment. Bugman says, leaving the scales on. I always scaled mine. Leave the skin on, but I'd scale it, and it would work pretty good.
Scale them, it makes a horrible mess.
That's why I do it before I leave where I'm fishing. Where I fish for carp when I was using it for bait, there's a ledge right there. I could just sit on. I'd lay that carp out on that concrete edge right there and just scrape the scales right into the water. But yeah, it makes them a scale, and any fish makes a mess. If we're cooking perch whole, which is pretty tasty because those tails are pretty much, like crappie tails. When you fry them up, they're tasty. That makes a horrible mess in my backyard.
You use the back of your knife or a spoon to scale?
I use a spoon usually. Danny Stone says you should scale him.
Well, I might scale this one just to see.
Any fish is possible says, scale a carp in your sink. You might as well hire a divorce lawyer. That's funny. My wife won't let me clean fish in the house. I usually do it on the tailgate in my truck in the garage, to be honest.
I might have a knife in my truck. I could use the back edge of the knife and just scale it right out here before I leave to go home.
That usually works good. That reminds me, I got to go out and get my bait night out of my boat and sharpen it up because it's dull as heck. I was filleting some bluegill the other night, and it was less than optimal for sure.
I might. Uncle Lou's been telling me to rough those carp up a little bit.
That'll help get the blood to come
Yeah,
up.
get the blood flowing into the meat.
Yep.
I may try that tonight too, or here in a little bit. Matter of fact, let me go do that real quick before it just dies laying in that cooler.
All right,
Give me
sounds
about
good.
2 or 3 minutes. I'll be right back.
All right, bud. Any fish possible. I bought one of those tables that you hook up to a garden hose. Best purchase I've ever made. Easy on the back and the marriage. I've been thinking about getting one of them. I'm just at a loss for room. Nina says it's called a PCA pump. Patient controlled analgesia. Dilaudid is Dilaudid is the most controlled analgesic. Dilaudid is the most wanted drug in the hospital. Morphine is better. Man, I'm having a hard time. My eyes adjust. Let me clean my glasses here. Sorry about that, Nina. We're waiting for Chris to get back here. He's roughing up carp that he's got in his cooler that he just caught. Morphine is better for cancer patients and organ pain. Well, that's good to know. When do they use fentanyl, Nina? Because that's what they gave me. Jello says, did he say he was going to fight a carp? He's going to rough him up. Hope he comes back. Size Matters Catfish says, drugs are bad. Okay. Any fish is possible says they fold up too. I've thrown them in my car and gone to the trout camp. Was very popular. Folks kept bringing me fish all weekend. Danny Stone says, carp assault on screen. If he comes back with a black eye, the carp fought back. Mike Greenwell says, Jello, the carp will whoop him. Fentanyl is for surgery. Okay, I understand, Nina. Bugman says, my new house I'm moving to has a little pond. I'm going to set up a cleaning station back there. I seen a turtle, so I can throw the carcasses in the pond. The little turtle could turn into a big turtle. Bugman says my mom had a fentanyl patch for years. Just had a pain pump put in.
A lot of the scales came off beating on it.
There you go. They're usually pretty big scales. They're not hard to scale. You can usually, like get your knife under a scale and peel them off one at a time, at least on the top of the back, so you can cut through a little easier. Steve Ransom says turtles in the pond eat bait fish. They sure do. CFM Queen says, awesome, Bugman, and congrats on your new home. So how long are you going to be live for, Chris?
Oh, let's see. It's been an hour. Probably just about maybe another 15 minutes. Just see if I can get one more.
I'll hang around for another 15 minutes. I got to take care of some stuff here in a minute. And I got to eat some breakfast because I'm diabetic and I think my blood sugar's messed up because my vision's kind of going funny.
Oh, it's
getting hard to read chat.
Sure.
Well, I'll be all right. It's not the first time.
But yeah, I wasn't going to spend a whole lot of time down here. I was going to give it 2 to maybe 3 hours. I really only need that one carp. That'll be enough for tonight. But if I could get one more, I might freeze it whole and keep it for another time.
There is a lot of lives going on this weekend. So if I go fish, I go live. I'll be out there too. So hope we'll see what happens.
There'll be no shortage of things to watch this weekend, that's for sure.
Nina's kayak crew says fentanyl patch is different than the IV type.
Nurse Nina.
Bugman says a friend of mine owns it. He is like family and asked me if I wanted to live in the country. So it is a blessing. Well, congratulations, Bugman.
Oh, Bugman got a new place to live?
Yeah, apparently he did
Awesome.
with a pond on the property.
Oh, Bugman, give me the address.
Exactly. We'll be there.
Let's see if we can deplete all the bluegill out of it.
You know, my the people that own the marina that sponsors me, they have us. The marina's on 700 acres on the river, right? You got a big piece of property they've had forever. They got a pond over there. They say it's so overrun with bluegills, I should go over there and help them thin them out. I'm like,
yeah,
challenge accepted.
That's right. We've got a guy that just lives 2 houses away from us, and he's got monster bluegill in his pond, but he will not. He'll let me fish it, but I can't take not even one out of it.
Really?
Yeah.
It's hard
he
to have
likes to have it there for his nieces and nephews to come over and catch fish.
I understand but you got to kind of regulate. You got to take some fish out of there. But obviously, he's doing a good job because he's got big bluegill. If he just
he finally broke down, and I think they caught like 150 out of there last year and filleted them all up and had a fish fry. And then I think he did it one more time last year. And he gave me all the carcasses, which was nice to have, the bluegill carcasses. But I think he threw them in a bucket that used to have some type of oil or something. We didn't hardly catch anything on them. I think I think he put them in a bucket that had something in it.
So it tainted them.
Yeah.
I had a really good flathead night a while back, a long time ago, on the bank fishing with a friend of mine. And it was me and him, and I was the only one catching them. We were fishing in the same spot I haven't moved. I'm like, hey, bud, get in this hole where I'm fishing. Got his bait out there. Nothing. I look over, and he's spraying bug spray all over his hands and arms.
Oh, Lord.
Like, I go, no wonder you're not catching nothing.
It's real easy to not think about stuff like that.
He was also a newbie. Nick Holcomb Fishing says, hi, everyone. How you doing? Welcome, Nick.
Welcome in.
Bugman says it's... hold on a second. Bugman says it's not a very big pond. It's only about 2 feet to 3 feet deep. That's deep enough for bluegill.
I just wonder, though, when you get ponds like that are only about 3 foot deep, and you get a super cold winter.
Oh, it'll kill them.
That's what I was thinking.
I go through that with bait spots every now and then. We'll have big kill-offs.
I don't know if we ever get 3 feet of ice here, but I don't ice fish either, so I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't ice fish anymore either, too. Aaron's right. I'm getting too old for some things, like, and that's one of them. If I could get out there on a nice snowmobile or something, that would be something different. But I don't have one of them. I don't have use for one of them, to be honest with you. Bugman says the bluegill I used last week was from a friend's 3-acre pond. I caught 4 in about 10 minutes on one worm. Laugh out loud. They are big, and he told me to come and get some. He needs more taken out. There you go. Take advantage of that, Bugman.
Oh, yeah. My mom and dad used to live on a private lake, and it was not like a fancy private community. It was just a guy owned the lake, and he had a rental house on it. Gotcha. But we used to go out there all the time, and The largemouth bass were so bad in there that you could. I used to throw out like a rattle trap or something. And we had a little 2-man plastic boat with a trolling motor on it.
Uh-huh.
And I would just throw that rattle trap behind me, and I put that trolling motor on high and take off. And about the time you'd get up to speed, you'd have about a 12-inch bass on, and you could catch them like that all day long.
You know,
They were so overrun with bass.
they say those make good bait.
I'm sure they probably do.
They might make good flathead bait, but well, yeah, I might know something about that. Dina and Bugman are talking about fentanyl. I don't know if you want me to read those comments.
What's up, Jello?
It is very informative information. What's going on, Jello? How you doing? It's rough sometimes for bait. I have to drive 30 minutes in the opposite direction to get it. I understand, Jello. The only place I got for bullheads that I know of is, well, that I can get a bunch of bullheads like 8 inches in size in a short period of time. It's about an hour and 10 minutes one way for me, and I'll make that trip every now and then. We got bullheads in a lot of the ponds here, but they're big ones, and they're, slow to catch. You're lucky if you get 2 in a couple hours. So if I'm out there bait fishing, I try to have a bullhead pole with me too, and just leave it out there in case I get
you
one.
Just bottom with Nightcrawler for bullheads?
Yeah, I just use Nightcrawler on like an 1/8 ounce jig head, and that jig head helps to keep them from getting gut hooked. It kind of doesn't make it past their jaw. If I'm fishing that one other spot, I'll catch there's a ton of small green sunfish, so I'll catch one of them. They're about 2 inches in length. They're little suckers, and I'll cut the head off of a couple of them, and I'll use them for bait under a float, and I'll get bluegill like crazy that way, or not bluegill, bullhead like that crazy.
Interesting. I've never used bullhead for bait.
I just use them live. Never had luck using them cut. I've tried. Anything is possible says we have bait everywhere here. Just hard to find something to catch with it. Kelly says going fishing this afternoon. If anybody wants to join me, they are welcome to. Nina's letting me know, Mark, Mark, you don't have to read the medication chat.
There's the biggest lake in Indiana is Monroe Reservoir, Lake Monroe. It's officially Monroe Reservoir, but most people just call it Lake Monroe. But Telly and I go there occasionally, and there's flatheads and channel cats in that, but there's also really big carp in there. And me and Telly were just talking the other day, and we'd like to make a trip down there and just take the whole day and just set up in the boat and carp fish.
Now, are you using pack bait and the whole deal?
Yeah, my pack, I'm very, very simple. I've got it's just panko breadcrumbs, Jello, strawberry Jello, and corn.
That'll work.
And I put 3 or 4 kernels of corn right on my hook. I pack this pack bait around my sinker. My leader's only about 4 to 6 inches long. That's how I do it.
Hey, whatever works. I don't
I
get
used
that
to just throw out handfuls of corn.
Yeah, that's what I do. I just use corn.
But you can only throw corn so far. So I started doing the pack bait just so I can cast it out there.
Cast it out there? That makes sense.
But I refuse to put a lot of money in carp fishing. I do buy carp hooks. Other than that, I was telling them earlier, I may buy some of those real cheap method feeders that look like a spring.
Uh-huh.
I may buy some of those just so I can really cast and not have to worry about throwing all my pack bait off. Because when you pack it around a sinker, there's nothing really holding it on there other than however hard you packed it.
Yeah, just if you get that mix right, you can get a harder pack on it.
Yeah, and then but if I get that little spring feeder thing, then I can pack it in there, and then I can cast it and not have to worry about it.
Bugman's asking, can you use bullheads? I can. I'm sure Chris can in certain
Yeah,
places.
I don't any, and instead in Indiana, as far as I know, any fish caught legally on hook and line, you can use for bait.
I believe it's the same way here, but it's kind of iffy. It's not very clear in the regulations. So let's say if I'm on the river, I can use crappie for bait because there's no size or creel limit. I feel
Yep,
safe doing that. You know what I mean? I
yep.
actually got a bunch of vacuum packed crappie heads from the spring in the freezer. I forgot to take this week. I was going to do that, but we'll have to give them a shot and see what happens. I know channel cats love cut crappie. I've done that a few times. They really like it. I mean, I've had a time where I was using bluegill. I wasn't catching nothing. I caught a crappie. I had a bait pole with me. And I'm like, well, let's try it. So I cut it up and boom, I started catching fish right away.
Yep. We don't use crappie. I'm trying to think of how I want to say that. I worry because I know in Indiana I can use crappie, but as soon as I hit that Ohio River, I don't I don't really know because I know in Kentucky there's certain species you can't use because they're game fish, but Indiana doesn't call them out that way. So, in my opinion, if I've caught the fish legally in Indiana and I take it to the Ohio River or I go up into the Licking, which is in Kentucky, I don't take crappie because I know that they can't use it. You know what I mean?
Yep, better to be safe than sorry. Who wants to pay that fine?
Right. I don't, and it's just not worth it to me. I know crappie is an excellent catfish bait. When we were in Virginia fishing with Tim King, we caught a lot of nice blue cats using crappie for bait.
Uh-huh.
And I know it works. I know it's a great bait, but it's just not worth it to me to risk getting in trouble and having that discussion with the conservation officer. Well, I live in Indiana and I caught it there. But I don't even want to have to go through all that.
Gotcha.
So I just don't use it.
I feel the same way. Better be safe than sorry again. Any fish as possible says just don't get big channel cats around and a ton of big carp anymore. That folks have taken. Oh, he was saying that folks have taken a bow fishing channel cats and carp where he's at. That happens a lot. They just made catfish legal to bowfish here in Illinois. What, last year or the year before last? And I got a problem with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that you can bow hunt or bow fish for carp here. I don't know. I mean, I don't do it, so I don't pay attention to the laws. But
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you can do it for catfish here or not.
I don't mind the carp so much. I have a problem with them shooting buffalo just because it takes them so long to grow, and they are a native species. So
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I get the sport part of it and stuff. I'd like to know what they're doing with them.
they're throwing them in a dumpster for the most part,
See, that part I don't agree with.
or they sell them. A lot of times they'll sell them to a fertilizer company.
I think if you're gonna harvest an animal, I don't care what it is, you need to do something with it. Now, I understand when they become a nuisance, overpopulation, things like that, but you have to do something. But at the same time, I don't think there's any place around here that's, especially with common carp, that has that big of a problem.
Carp and catfish baits, tips, tricks, and techniques. How you doing? Says there's a lot of little ones in Monroe as well, though.
And that's fine. I mean, I'd prefer to use the little ones for bait and release the big ones so they can go make more because I do enjoy catching them.
I love using baby carp underneath a float, man. Oh my god, that's like one of my favorite ways to fish. They're awesome. I always do well using baby carp.
I've never even seen a baby carp.
Small, like little 6-inch ones. You get them in your bait tank, chase them around at 3 in the morning when you're getting ready to leave. That's always an adventure. They go jumping all over the place. They're running around faster than bass in that bait tank.
Yeah.
Bugman says I use oats, but it has to be the real oats, not the instant kind.
All right. Well, it's been 2 hours. I've got my bait. I only need one. I was hoping to catch more just because they're fun, but I'm not going to sit here and fish just to catch them. And I can be home getting stuff ready and take a nap before midnight. Well, actually, Telly and I have to go out. We got to meet some friends at 5. I think they live on Lake Santee here in Indiana, and I think they're going to take us out on their pontoon.
Nice.
We're going to eat dinner, and then we're going to leave there and go straight to the Ohio River and get ready for the tournament tonight. So I need a nap, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Me and the wife are going out with some friends tonight to dinner, and I'll probably be feeling pretty good when I come home. I'll tune in and check that out after it starts, though.
We'll definitely be out there.
I'll be rooting
This should
for
be a
you.
good tournament. I think there's going to be a lot of fish caught tonight. I really do.
Cool. It's that time of year. Fishing's good. Are you guys in spawn yet or no?
I think we are. To be honest with you, the last few times Telly and I went out, we never caught it. We caught a lot of fish, but nothing over 12 pounds. And even the ones we did small, anything between 8 and 12 pounds is what we've been catching, and we're catching a lot of them. And even those have had a lot of marks on them. So I think we're either in it or coming out of it.
I think this cold snap we had will give me an extra week of fishing. So, waiting for this boat and having to get it all set up put me well behind. So I'm going to try and be fishing a little harder at least twice a week. I'll be fishing Monday for sure. Whether or not I go out this weekend, I don't know yet. Like I said, I got to check to see what the wife has planned for us. She is you ever watch The Love Boat?
I used to when I was a kid.
Remember Julie?
Yeah.
Well, that's my wife. She's my Julie.
Oh, okay.
Entertainment director, I call her.
The Love Boat.
Exactly. And of course, lots of graduations going on this time of year. So we got a lot of them going on. All right, Chris, well, it was fun chatting with you. Sorry about my vision going a little blurry.
Oh, you're all right. You take care of your blood sugar and take care of yourself.
I just gotta go eat.
Thank you for coming up.
Yeah, I just got to go eat some breakfast. So, yeah, Greenwell says old men need naps. How old is that Greenwell?
He's a few years behind me, I believe.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah. He's not as young as he likes to think he is, but
he doesn't look very young. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Well, thank you everybody for coming in and hanging out. At least we did catch one. That was the goal, was take one carp home for bait. We achieved our goal, so we're gonna hang it up and go home and get stuff ready and take a nap.
Cool.
We'll see everybody later.
Bye, everybody.